Next up for movie news, again, I'm not going to say it's very surprising, but it's still good news nonetheless, and that is that Jon Bernthal is returning as the Punisher in Daredevil Born Again, and the world cried out in joy together. Now, the big question is, like Daredevil itself and like Kingpin showing up in Hawkeye, is this the same version that we got before,
No.
or are we gonna multiverse this?
I'm not even gonna let you entertain it. No.
I'm kind of with you. I think Kevin Feige, loving the multiverse as much as he does, I think that's how he's going to, quote unquote, cleverly explain away how all the Netflix characters, except for Finn as Iron Fist, have all come back into the MCU, just slightly different than we know, and slightly PG-13ier than we knew before.
Gosh, yeah. Especially with that Kingpin appearance.
Yeah, that Kingpin appearance didn't do the character any favors, but I have maintained ever since the characters left Netflix, I'm going, okay, all these people very much could show up in the MCU someday. They'll probably just be slightly different than what they were before. Except Finn Jones. Is it Finn Jones? I don't even care at this point. He sucks so much. Whoever played Iron Fist, Kevin Feige's not stupid. Kevin Feige will recast Iron Fist, but everyone else will be brought back. But apparently not everybody, as certain characters from Daredevil, the Netflix show, aren't coming back for this series. So whether they're just going to be excluded from the series entirely or whether they're going to be recast is unclear. But we get Jon Bernthal back. We can't expect it to be the same hard R-rated Punisher, but to me, talent will always translate. So no matter what they're doing with the character, I'm excited because Jon Bernthal is an immense talent to add to your roster. So no matter what you give him, I'll be excited because I know he's going to perform, and he was so perfectly cast as the Punisher that even if he's not busting open kneecaps this time around, I still will completely buy him as the Punisher. But silver lining of hope here before I hand over to Josh. We know Deadpool 3 is going to be rated R. So it could potentially slightly crack open the door for other R-rated projects in the MCU. They might be incredibly limited, but like it might just end up being like Deadpool, Punisher, Blade. See, I don't even think Blade will be rated R, but maybe a handful of R-rated stuff. But Josh, as the John, I called you John. Yeah, we'll go with that. Josh is gonna take that. Josh will take that to the bank. So, John, now that you're back in the MCU, Josh, as the diehard Jon Bernthal fan that you are, thoughts? Oh boy.
Fine. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm fine with it. I think unfortunately kind of like Kingpin. If you're not going to bring that version back, I kind of don't want it. I love the Kingpin from the Netflix Daredevil show, and I wish that is the Kingpin that we got in Hawkeye, and it wasn't. Not only was it not, it wasn't even close. There were several things that she did to him that, like, why are you taking that, dude? I've literally seen you smack somebody's head through a wall. Like, why are you taking that? Like, stop it. And I'm just really worried that I'm going to get that feeling with this. Punisher, admittedly, is a little easier to do on screen. He's not this like hyper big, like weirdly not super powered but oddly super strong thing like Kingpin is. I can see the Punisher fitting a lot better into this world. That being said, I can see him like butting heads a lot with our new Captain America.
Maybe actually butting heads with him.
Yeah, like quite literally, both metaphorically and physically. I can see. I think I can see the Punisher's place in this MCU a lot better, a lot easier than I can with Kingpin. I'm just like imagining now that we have an actual like New York Spider-Man, seeing how Tom Holland's going to interact with John. Um, that is going to be super cool and super interesting. I think there is definitely a PG version of the Punisher that can work, but but bringing back the same guy that did the basically NA version of Punisher, I just don't know if that is the right call. As much as I love John, and as much as I love his version of Frank Castle, um, I just don't know if it's the right call.
Yeah, I'm still excited. I just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
it's
yeah, absolutely.
we just got to look at the how the other Netflix characters have been used so well, and it's so spotty because
Mm-hmm.
Kingpin essentially was just brought in to job to Kate Bishop, like
Which is terrible.
like how Superman was used on Supergirl, but thankfully they remedied that for Superman and Lois. He was just a jobber, really. He wasn't that big or intimidating. But then you get like Matt Murdock's Daredevil, who was great in No Way Home, and I know some people had some issues with how he showed up in She-Hulk. When he's Daredevil, he's perfect, and the Matt Murdock
Mm-hmm.
stuff, whether you like it or not, it's not that far off from how he's portrayed in the comics. Like
Yeah, agreed.
comics comics can be a little weird, and I think that whether you liked it or not, it fit for those characters' history. So how we see Punisher, I'm hoping he's not just there to like job out to somebody else, a la Kingpin. Um,
Yeah,
but
that's I think what I'm worried about.
Marvel keeps like teasing these like darker characters like Punisher and Blade and Daredevil. Whether they actually will do anything, I'm not sure, or if we just get like a darker MCU like corner of it at some point. I don't know if they'll ever go with that. We're just getting so many characters, and I don't know how they're gonna play into the larger picture. It just
Yeah,
you brought it up earlier with the multiverse stuff. It's the web might be getting a little too convoluted for its own good, but hey, nice to see Punisher's coming back for Daredevil. Um,
yeah.
Never a bad idea. Always super cool.